question. Always these questions. So how are you all doing? Good? I heard some okay, maybe I'm doing somehow. Fine, right? So, okay. Pretty good, okay. So far, so good. Busy, maybe. So often when we respond to this question, how are you doing? We give the answer kind of like a shortened version of like, everything is under control, right? And maybe some days it is. Or maybe we just hope for it. So today's gospel tells a story of someone who definitely thinks that he has everything under control. Or at least he's trying really hard to make it so. So let's set the scene. Okay, I'm inviting you to this journey. Jesus is preaching to a crowd, thousands of people pressing in, listening, and right in the middle of this moment, there is this man interrupts with a question about inheritance. He says, "Tell my brother to divide the family inheritance with me." Now, a question for my kids, the kids. And you know what, to all of you here, who here has siblings? Hands up, if you have siblings. Any sibling, sister or brother or something like that. And, okay, thank you. And who has ever argued with their siblings? Hands up. Okay, that tracks. We often try to sort it out ourselves, but sometimes when it gets heated, we go to mom and dad, to our parent, or in like this case, to Jesus and say, "Oh, can you please help me and fix this?" And it's not a bad idea. After all, we want fairness, right? We want resolution. But notice this man is asking Jesus not for wisdom, but to take sides. Jesus he's not that kind of a guy. So he doesn't do that. Instead, he says, "Friend, who set me to be a judge or arbitrator over you." And then he uses this moment to tell a deeper truth. Take care. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. So let's just pause here for a second. This might feel like a hard turn. Jesus going from spiritual death to estate law, and then suddenly launching into a warning about greed. But don't we all do this too? We come to church carrying real burdens. Things about money, jobs, broken relationships, housing stress, immigration struggles, or just trying to keep things together for one more week. And these things, these are real. But sometimes Jesus wants to pull our gaze back, maybe lift it up to help us for something more. And that's what he's doing here right now. He tells a story, a parable about a man who, from all outward appearances, has everything under control. So let's hear it again. The land of a rich man produced abundantly, and he thought to himself, "What should I do? For I have no place to store my crops. I will tear down my barns and build a larger one, and there I will store all my grains and all my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry." Okay, let's break down this whole situation. I have everything under control. I. Notice this, how self-centered this farmer thinking is. I will do this. I will build. I will say it to my soul. There is no we. No mention of neighbors. No mention of God. He is celebrating Thanksgiving without giving thanks. In our own lives, especially in a city like Dallas, where success and independence are so highly valued, it's really easy to fall into this trap. We build our calendars, our careers, our financial plans, our retirement accounts, our LinkedIn profiles, and sometimes, without even realizing it, our prayers start sounding like strategic planning. But who we do leave out? Maybe some of us don't even feel like we can say, I have everything under control. Maybe what we feel is more like, I'm just barely making it. I'm stretched too thin. I'm trying to hold it together for my kids, my parents, for my job. And still, we are told by culture, by social media, even by church sometimes, that we are supposed to look like we have it all handled. But let me say this clearly. The gospel does not ask you to have it under control. The gospel invites you to let go of control. This farmer isn't just self-focused. He's obsessed with having, with storing, collecting, accumulating. And Jesus knows how seductive that is, especially when resources feel scarce, when you are not sure if you will be able to pay rent or pay for an oversized church building or afford health care or take care of family far away. Wanting to having enough, it's human. And it makes sense. But this parable isn't about greed in a cartoonish billionaire kind of way. It's about illusion that we have is the same as who we are, that our worth depends on our wealth, that more is safer, that control equals security. We know better. We've seen people with big barns. We've seen people with empty hearts. We've seen people with nothing materially, but full of generosity and joy. We know the truth that things we cling to can't save us. So Jesus speaks with compassion, not condemnation. He says, be careful. Don't let your having get in your way of living. In the end, the man in the parable has a plan. He figured it out. Big barns, early retirement, life of an ease. And he finally made it. But then comes the punch. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. That's harsh. But it's not a punishment. It's a perspective. The man thought that he had everything under control, but life, as we all know too well, is fragile. And control? Control is an illusion. Whether we are facing illness, job loss, climate disaster, or the weight of systemic injustice, none of us can secure our lives by hoarding things. What we can do is trust the one who holds us through it all. So what does Jesus offer instead? So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves but are not rich toward God. What does this mean to be rich towards God? It means living generously. It means trusting that there is enough. It means seeing your neighbors not as a competition, but as a co-workers in God's reign of justice and peace. It means releasing control, and it means receiving grace. It means community, mutual aid, shared burdens, and shared joys. But we all need reminders. We all need parables that shake us out of the lie that more stuff will make us safe, and back into the truth that we are held, that we are beloved, that God has the only control that matters, and that it is good. So, as we are leaving here today, don't try to get it all under control. Try this instead. Let it go. Trust grace. Live richly toward God. And remember, the one who created you has never lost control. Amen.